Good morning and a very warm welcome everybody to our laboratory certificate program at Springfield College of Healthcare Management and Technology, Brampton. Today we are going to discuss about the various aspects of phlebotomy, which generally we consider or understand better as a venipuncture process. Venipuncture, venupuncture, various way we discuss it. Why we call it is more commonly as a venipuncture, because we collect the blood mainly from the various veins in the body. So first of all, let me tell you, phlebotomy general conception is that phlebotomy is important because we are going to collect the blood, and that is the main important and only important portion for the phlebotomy. But it's not like that. Phlebotomy has a diverse aspect which are associated considering the best practice of phlebotomy. So we need to pay attention to all that minute details of the program and the details of the phlebotomy procedure as a whole. So today we are going to discuss the phlebotomy as a 6 parts of the phlebotomy important aspects. First part goes with the phlebotomy when we start. Before that, what we call is the patient greeting, patient welcome, and introducing the patient. First of all, we need to introduce ourselves to the patient and welcome inside the place where you are going to collect the blood of the patient, make the patient comfortable, and ask the minute details of the basic details of the patient, identifying the name of the patient, demography of the patients, matching with the requisition form which you might be carrying from the doctor to carry on the different sample collection of the patient. So you ask that to verify with the requisition form. Check with the facility protocol for type of informed consent, which is a very important aspect. The first part of the phlebotomy, getting the informed consent of the patient. Make it sure whether it is a verbal, written, or implied consent. As per the facility protocol, you are going to collect first the informed consent of the patient. Then the second part goes with the patient preparation and armamentarium or the supply preparation for the procedure. Here you have to prepare the patient. You can ask the very brief medical history and patient preparation. Physical, mental preparation is very important. And here we have to remember one more thing, that patient can deny for the treatment because of some reasons, maybe patient having apprehension or anxiety or needle phobia, hemophobia, which are the very common reasons why the patient doesn't want to go for the treatment even in the middle of the treatment schedule. So we need to make the patient prepared first, and then all of the required material we need to have ready with us, and then we start with the phlebotomy collection. Third step goes with the site preparation. Once the patient is ready to go for the procedure and we have made everything available, third thing, we go with the site preparation of the patient. So generally we select the site which is the antecubital area from where we collect the blood. Why this site is very important? Because of the obvious reason. We have 3 veins in this area, which is towards the body basilic vein, in the median mesenteric vein, and outer side laterally placed cephalic vein. Our first preference for the vein selection in the antecubital area would be median cubital vein. The simple reason to take this vein as the first consideration is the location and its close proximity with the skin. Second thing, there is no important structure, nerve structure or artery nearby with the median cubital vein, which is not the case with the basilic vein. Why we avoid the basilic vein? I'm coming to that point. So first we go with the median cubital. That is the first preference. Second goes with the cephalic vein, which is laterally placed. And third, we go with the basilic vein. Basilic vein we avoid most of the time. The simple reason is the nerve proximity. There are musculocutaneous nerve, axillary nerve present nearby, along with the brachial artery. So these three important structures are there. Apart from that, the chances of bruise formation or what we call the hematoma formation is more in case of a basilic vein. So we avoid it. Even the tenderness is also more. So simply we site selection we prefer to go for the median-cubital, antecubital area. Second, we can go with the dorsal vein or dorsal hand selection also. So there also same way we have a different veins, cephalic, basilic vein. There also we can collect it, but we have to keep it in mind that this area, the skin is thin. Skin is thin, you might be tempted to go here, but it may be causing more discomfort to the patient and more pain. So we can avoid this thing. After the site selection, fourth step is the blood collection process. Collecting the blood with the appropriate technique is very important. Why appropriate technique? Because generally nowadays we are using the vacutainer system. So most preferentially we go with this technique. But sometimes depending upon the requirement, we may have to select alternative technique. For example, patient having collapsible type of veins, geriatric patient, pediatric patients, compromised conditions like having cardiopulmonary conditions. So in that situation, we have to have like the alternative technique. For example, using the syringe system or butterfly system or transferable hub system. So accordingly, we can choose the different system. Now, the next part, we are going to discuss further into the different techniques and how to go for the post-puncture care after the collection of the blood. And thank you for watching. Thank you. Have a great day.